परमपूज्य निकम गुरुजींना नमस्कार. परमपूज्य मिस्टर रामचंद्र सुर्वे ज्यांच्याबद्दल आपण आत्ता इतकं सविस्तरपणे ऐकलं, बऱ्याच गोष्टी माहीत नव्हत्या, त्यांना नमस्कार. मी इंग्लिशमधून बोलते. डॉक्टर महेश करंदीकर, an international speaker whom I got luckily introduced recently at Parle at the lecture his lecture I attended at Parle Katta. And then I was hesitating whether I should go ahead and meet this great man. But he is personification of modesty. So then I further invited him for Dr. Manke Smruti Sandhya, and I had sent him a book which he read for 3 nights before coming for the programs. I was thoroughly surprised with his dedication to whatever he does. So now when after that program, and he had come to our house a few months back, and Kunda asked, I want to call somebody for this program, and the first name came, and he agreed immediately. And now Kunda tells me he puts so much his mind into whatever he does. He is very, very busy internationally going around giving lectures, and I don't know how he finds so much time. Thank you very much from my side, apart from Kunda. I didn't know Mr. Anand Kulkarni was there, so my respects to Mr. Anand Kulkarni. And I'm very much thankful to my dear friend Nilima Shastri, who was my Ferguson College classmate for 2 years, but then came in contact because of my other friend who was my roommate in medical college. So that is Madhu Kanta Patel. So she is here also today. And because of her, I became more friendly again, because I had forgotten, because of her sister admitted, etc., etc. But then she had also invited me during COVID to give a lecture, which I had to study, because now also I was not supposed to, I did not expect that I will be called to say a few words, but she said, you have to. Then I'm not used to something like that, although I attend Iyengar yoga classes for last 30 years, but still giving a talk, I don't feel I am the right person. Anyway, I take this opportunity to share my whatever understanding about. So I took a simple topic. Now for this, I congratulate the organization for having such speakers as Dr. Khatab and Dr. Manasi from Australia, Dr. Hiral Mehta from Dubai, Dr. Kansara from Delhi, and Dr. Shubhangi Parkar, our own from KEM Hospital, Dr. Vidya Amrute, Dr. Jyoti, contractor from Mumbai. So it is going to be a whole day packed with knowledge on neurological sciences and yoga. So I congratulate Ambika Kutir for organizing this fantastic function. And I can see that how yoga and discipline go hand in hand, because the audience is full with everybody on time and sitting with discipline. So congratulations for that also. So my dear friends and fellow yoga practitioners, I can say that yoga has spiritual background because of sage Patanjali, father of Yoga Sutra and eightfold path that we know. And basis of yoga, I can say, because of that, is physical, mental, and spiritual practices aimed at health and peace. So yoga is useful in health in 9 ways, as suggested by John Hopkins Medicine platform. Firstly, getting muscle strength, balance, and flexibility. Secondly, preventing and relief of back pain. Thirdly, prevention and relief of arthritis. Fourthly, maintaining and improving heart health. Fifth is just for relaxation. Sixth is for mental upliftment. Relaxation and upliftment are two totally different points. Seventh is stress management. Eighth is for well-being of entire community. And lastly, for self-care, maintaining body balance, stamina, and muscle strength. Now, even US military and large organizations have adopted yoga practices for balanced life. There are many types of yoga practice such as Hatha Yoga for slow movement, Vinyasa for intense practice, Iyengar Yoga for detail-oriented practice, Ashtanga Yoga for ancient practice, and Yin Yoga for stress relief and energy boost, and many, many more practices we all know all over the world. Yoga is for everyone. You don't need to be mentally and physically fit to practice yoga. It is essential for modern life, which neglects body and mind in race of material gain, because yoga helps integrate mental and physical plane, inner and outer balance. So when we compare yoga and exercise, physical aspect is exercise, which lacks depth and direction, while yoga stresses on mental and spiritual aspect. Asanas refresh your life force with new energy. It builds up inner strength, boosts up natural resistance to disease. Physical exercise is body movement without spiritual dimension. It may exhaust you many times. You may increase muscle strength, all right, but not always muscle flexibility. Spine is a complex assembly. Stretching of spine strengthens muscles along the spine, giving reinforcement. As age advances, nerves get compressed because space between the vertebrae is reduced. Simple way to repair this aging process is yoga. Surya Namaskar, as we all know, can be said as physical exercise, because anybody and everybody in the school also does Surya Namaskar. But originally, we all know they also have solid spiritual base and involves alteration, attention to entire body. It can be done from childhood till old age. If you want to do it as yoga practice, we can start with 1 and increase 1 every second day till you reach 21, and practice 21 every day from childhood till old age until you have balance in walking. So you can practice Surya Namaskar, as you all know and I know, forever. Yoga is expression of who you are and vision of what you want to be. It helps changing direction of thinking about purpose of your existence. Now there is substantial medical evidence also to prove importance of our ancient science of yoga. We always need some paperwork to prove that it is true. It has been coming, we know from our heart, but when it comes in a in a journal and it is approved by international society, then we accept that the truth. So that is why I said that there is substantial medical evidence in journals. We come in this world with karmic genetic material. Then so many impressions of things around us make you a certain kind of person, getting identified with the way you live, and we now realize that we have got too influenced with westernization over several decades, and we see two types of thought processes now. One is thinking death will come anytime and take everybody away. And the other is thinking about tomorrow, about improving present condition into eternity by exercise and yoga. That is the difference between physical exercise and yoga. The mind, how we think about it, makes a lot of difference. Our sympathetic system deals with muscle strength and resistance training, whereas parasympathetic system works on breathing, which is very important factor in training of yoga, pranayama, and meditation. Both are practiced in maintaining balance and strength through entire life all the time. Lastly, as per 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there has to be surrender to God and offer Him whatever we do. Attend intense love for God in kumbha, leading to knowledge of self. Understanding, determination, perception, and knowledge leads to eternal devotional relationship with God. Well thought out, consistent practice is called abhyas. Focused in physical asanas, also assisted by things like fasting, chanting, going to temple, worship mentally, focus to do best and leave the rest. So consistent practice with all this around, we reach, this is called as spirituality. This is called the practice of yoga. I, me, and mine are obstacles in spiritual practice. Thinking of purpose behind any activity is the most important thing. Am I doing something because I am in trouble, or I want something from the world, or for self-knowledge and improvement? So that if we think we know what is yoga is and what is exercises. Rules of safe life are given in chapter 13. You all know, I don't want to elaborate on this. And asanas, along with following these rules, is yoga. Thank you very much for patient listening.